So I welcome you all. In this video we are going to discuss differentiation under integral sign. So first, to discuss problems on differentiation under integral sign, we need to discuss Leibniz rule of differentiation under integral sign. Shortly we write Leibniz rule. So this rule says if f of x comma alpha is a function in two variables x and alpha, is a function in two variables x and alpha, and its partial derivative with respect to alpha, dou f of x comma alpha by dou alpha. If these two are continuous in the variables both x and alpha, continuous in x and alpha, then we have d by d alpha of integral a to b f of x comma alpha dx is equal to integral a to b dou by dou alpha of f of x comma alpha dx. That means if both the f of x comma alpha and its partial derivative with respect to alpha are continuous, then you can interchange these two operators, differentiation and integration. See here, integration comes first, then differentiation, but here differentiation first, then integration. So you can interchange integration and differentiation only when the integrand is continuous and the function integrand on both sides is continuous. That's what Leibniz rule says, and in this section we are going to discuss problems on this rule. So only this thing you have to note down. So the derivative of integral a to b f of x comma alpha dx is same as integral a to b derivative of f of x comma alpha with respect to alpha partially dx. Let us discuss problems on this. First one, given integral 0 to alpha pi, sorry, it is integral 0 to pi dx divided by alpha minus cos x equal to pi by square root of alpha square minus 1. Then show that for alpha square equal to greater than 1, integral 0 to pi dx divided by alpha minus cos x whole square is equal to pi alpha divided by alpha square minus 1 whole power 3 by 2. So this is the given thing, and we need to prove this one using Leibniz rule of differentiation under integral sign. So solution, given, okay, so given thing I'll consider later. Okay, let us write given integral 0 to pi dx divided by alpha minus cos x equal to pi by square root of alpha square minus 1. Now we'll let pi of alpha to be integral 0 to pi dx by alpha minus cos x. So this term I am calling as pi of alpha. Then applying Leibniz rule, in the sense you have to differentiate both sides with respect to alpha. Applying Leibniz rule, we get phi dash of alpha. So both sides you have to differentiate with respect to alpha. So left hand side will be phi dash of alpha equal to integral 0 to pi. So here you have a function in both x and alpha. So partial derivative should appear here. So derivative of 1 by alpha minus cos x, that is same as similar to derivative of 1 by x. Derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. So it will be minus 1 divided by alpha minus cos x whole square. into derivative of this denominator function. So 1 minus 0 you get, right? So it is 1, so not necessary to write, it will be dx. So from this I got phi dash of alpha equal to minus integral 0 to pi 1 by alpha minus cos x whole square. On the other hand, see, we have taken phi of alpha to be integral 0 to pi dx by alpha minus cos x, but it is given that integral is equal to pi by square root of alpha square minus 1. So on the other hand, we can write phi of alpha to be pi by square root of alpha square minus 1. We can write this as alpha square minus 1 whole power 1 by 2, so that differentiation will be easier. So differentiating both sides, this is ordinary differentiation because we don't have integral sign here. So phi dash of alpha equal to pi agirta. So see, integral of derivative of 1 by x square means that is same as x power minus 1 by 2. So if you differentiate it, you will get x power minus 1 by 2 minus 1, x power minus 3 by 2 divided by minus 1 by 2, right? So it will be minus 1 by 2 into alpha square minus 1 whole power minus 3 by 2. But if you take that term to the denominator, it will be alpha square minus 1 whole power 3 by 2 into derivative of this inner function 2 alpha. So this 2 cancels with this. So we got phi dash of alpha equal to minus pi alpha divided by alpha square minus 1 whole power 3 by 2. So one side I have phi dash of alpha to be this, another side I have this one. So I can equate both equations. So from that we will be getting, if you want you can call this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. So from 1 and 2 we have integral 0 to pi 1 divided by alpha square minus 1 whole power, what we have here, sorry, alpha minus cos x whole square, it is alpha minus cos x whole square dx is equal to minus pi alpha divided by alpha square minus 1 whole power 3 by 2. So minus minus get cancel. So finally we get integral 0 to pi 1 divided by alpha minus cos x whole square dx is equal to pi alpha divided by alpha square minus 1 whole power 3 by 2. That's all. That completes the solution of problem A. Next, similarly we shall consider problem B. Problem B, we have this one. Evaluate integral 0 to 1 x power alpha log x dx, where alpha strictly greater than minus 1. Solution. Here we need to evaluate integral 0 to 1 x power alpha log x dx. For that you have to let phi of alpha to be, I think you have to memorize this one. Here you must take phi of alpha to be integral 0 to 1 x power alpha dx, so that if you apply Leibniz rule, you get x power alpha log x. So applying Leibniz rule, we get phi dash of alpha equal to integral 0 to 1. You have to differentiate x power alpha with respect to alpha. So you get x power alpha log x dx. Call this as 1. On the other hand, we have phi of alpha equal to integral 0 to 1 x power alpha dx, right? So integrating this with usual method, it will be x power alpha plus 1 divided by alpha plus 1 between 0 and 1. Applying limits, it will be 1 by alpha plus 1. So we got phi of alpha equal to 1 by alpha plus 1. But here I have phi dash of alpha, so differentiate this. So differentiating, will be getting phi dash of alpha equal to minus 1 by alpha plus 1 whole square. Therefore, integral 0 to 1 x power alpha log x dx equal to, from equation 1 and 2, that is equal to minus 1 by alpha plus 1 whole square. That is about problem B. Next, C. Evaluate integral 0 to 1 x power alpha minus 1 divided by log x into dx, where alpha non-negative. Solution. So the given integral itself will be taken as phi of alpha here. Let phi of alpha equal to integral 0 to 1 x power alpha minus 1 divided by log x dx. Now applying Leibniz rule, we get phi dash of alpha equal to integral 0 to 1. See, 1 by log x will be a constant term, 1 by log x into derivative of x power alpha minus 1. X power alpha, if you differentiate, you get x power alpha log x minus 0, not necessary to write, into dx. So log x get cancelled. We will be getting phi dash of alpha equal to integral 0 to 1 x power alpha dx. But this will be 1 by alpha plus 1, usual integration as we did in problem B. So we got phi dash of alpha to be 1 by alpha plus 1. Now integrating this, because I want phi of alpha, right? So integrating this, we get phi of alpha equal to log of alpha plus 1 plus the constant of integration c. Now we need to determine this c. We'll call this as 1, say. Put alpha equal to 0. If you put alpha equal to 0, we get phi of 0 equal to log 1 will be 0, phi of 0 equal to c. But if you look into the definition of phi of alpha, see here I have phi of alpha to be integral 0 to 1 x power alpha minus 1 by log x dx. If I take alpha equal to 0 here, you get 1 minus 1, 0 divided by log x. 0 by log x will be 0. So integral 0 to 1 0 dx, that will be 0 again. So on the other hand, phi of alpha, phi of 0, that is by definition it is integral 0 to 1 0 dx will be 0. Therefore c equal to phi of 0 equal to 0. Therefore c is 0. Hence phi of alpha equal to log of alpha plus 1. That completes the solution of problem C. Next, problem D. This is a bit lengthy and important one. Evaluate integral 0 to infinity e power minus x square cos alpha x dx. Solution. Let phi of alpha to be integral 0 to infinity e power minus x square cos alpha x dx. Now here, as usual, applying differentiation under integral sign. We get phi dash of alpha to b integral 0 to infinity e power minus x square into derivative of cos alpha x, we get minus sin alpha x into derivative of alpha x, we are differentiating with respect to alpha, means it will be x dx. So we got a product of three functions under integral sign. We shall write this as phi dash of alpha equal to integral 0 to infinity minus sin, let us take outside, minus we can take outside, x into e power minus x square into sin alpha x dx. Now treating this as a single function and this as another single function, we can apply integration by parts. So we'll treat sin alpha x as the first function, x into e power minus x square as second function. Applying integration by parts, we get phi dash of alpha equal to minus first function, that is sin alpha x, into integral of x e power minus x square, integral of second function, minus under integral sign, integral 0 to infinity, derivative of first function, sin alpha x you have to differentiate, right? So we have to differentiate with respect to x. So alpha into derivative sign is cos alpha x into integral x e power minus x square dx. Now we want this one, integral 0 to infinity x into e power minus x square dx. So let us simplify that within bracket, saying let I equal to integral, I want only the indefinite integral, later we can apply limits, x e power minus x square dx. So here we can use a substitution, put t equal to x square, then dt will be 2x into dx, but here I have x into dx, right? So x into dx equal to dt by 2, that is one important information. And okay, this will be, hence I will be integral e power minus t into dt by 2. So 1 by 2 you can take outside, integrating e power minus t, it will be e power minus t divided by minus 1. Therefore I equal to minus e power minus x square by 2. Okay, this we are going to use here. Thus phi dash of alpha equal to minus sin alpha x into integral of x e power minus x square is minus e power minus x square by 2 between 0 and infinity, minus integral 0 to infinity alpha cos alpha x into integral of x e power minus x square is minus e power minus x square by 2 into dx. Okay, let's come to this. Here phi dash of alpha equal to minus sign, let us keep outside only, applying upper limit e power minus infinity you get 0, so 0 into some finite number, again you get 0, minus applying lower limit, sin 0 is 0, 0 into e power 0 is 1, so again you get 0. So the first term vanishes on applying upper and lower limits. So here minus into minus you have plus, 1 by 2 you can take, yes, alpha by 2 you can take outside, alpha by 2 into integral 0 to infinity e power minus x square cos alpha x dx. Okay, so this will be phi dash of alpha equal to minus alpha by 2 into integral 0 to infinity e power minus x square cos alpha x dx. Okay, now this integral 0 to infinity cos e power minus x square cos alpha x dx is nothing but phi of alpha. So we got phi dash of alpha equal to minus alpha by 2 into phi of alpha. So taking phi one side, phi dash of alpha divided by phi of alpha equal to minus alpha by 2. Integrating, it will be integral phi dash of alpha divided by phi of alpha d alpha, obviously I have to integrate with respect to alpha, d alpha equal to minus integral alpha by 2, okay, minus 1 by 2 integral alpha d alpha. So left hand side, see this is a standard integral. If numerator is the derivative of the denominator, then integral of that will be log of the denominator. So log phi of alpha equal to minus alpha square by 2, ಇಲ್ಲಿ alpha square by 2 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, into ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 by 2 ಇರುತ್ತೆ, alpha square by 4 plus c. So we got this one, log of phi of alpha plus log of phi of alpha equal to minus alpha square by 4 plus c. So this c, since we have here alpha, we can take in terms of log. Let us take that as log c. So log of phi of alpha minus log c will be equal to minus alpha square by 4. So left hand side log a minus log b can be written as log of phi of alpha by c equal to e power minus alpha square by 4. So phi of alpha will be c into e power minus alpha square by 4. C into e power minus alpha square by 4. But now we need to determine this c. So I have to make this second term of the product to be 0. Put alpha not 0, it should be 1. So to make it 1, I have to choose particular value to alpha. So I am going to choose alpha equal to 0. Put alpha equal to 0. Then phi of 0 equal to c into e power 0 1. So phi of 0 equal to 1. Phi of 0 equal to c. On the other hand, using the definition, phi of 0 will be integral 0 to infinity e power minus x square cos 0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, cos 0 is 1 into dx. But this is a standard integral whose value is root pi by 2. Therefore, from these two, you can write c equal to root pi by 2. Hence phi of alpha equal to root pi by 2 into e power minus alpha square by 4. That's all. So this completes the solution of that problem. So we discussed 4 problems here. Let us discuss one more, problem E. So here evaluate integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into sin alpha x divided by x dx. So this is what we need to evaluate. Let us see. As usual, solution. Let phi of alpha to be integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into sin alpha x divided by x dx. So phi of alpha equal to applying Leibniz rule. We get phi of alpha equal to integral 0 to infinity. See, e power minus x by x will be a constant term. So differentiating sin alpha x, you get x cos alpha x dx. So x get cancelled. It will be integral 0 to infinity e power minus x cos alpha x dx. But we have standard integral that says integral e power ax cos bx dx is equal to e power ax divided by a square plus b square into a cos bx plus b sin bx. Close the bracket. So phi of alpha to be, using this result. See, you can compare this with this. Here we get by comparison a equal to -1 and b equal to alpha. So with suitable substitutions, this will be e power -x divided by -1 whole square, that is 1 square plus alpha square times a cos bx. A cos bx means minus cos alpha x plus b sin bx, alpha sin alpha x. This should be evaluated between 0 and infinity. So then applying limits, it will be phi of alpha equal to 1 by 1 plus alpha square times, applying upper limit, e power minus infinity into some finite number you are going to get, that will be 0, because e power minus infinity is 0, minus applying lower limit, e power 0 is 1 into 1 plus 0. So you are supposed to get minus of, there is one more minus in here, yes. So you are supposed to get 1 by 1 plus alpha square. So you got this one. Now this is phi dash of alpha, right? Phi dash of alpha, and this is also phi dash of alpha. Applying integration, I mean differentiation under integral sign, you are going to get phi dash of alpha, not phi of alpha. But I want phi of alpha, so integrating both sides, you are going to get phi of alpha to be, this will be tan inverse of alpha, right? Tan inverse of alpha plus c. As usual, put alpha equal to 0. What happens if you put alpha equal to 0? Phi of 0 equal to tan inverse 0, that is same as sin inverse 0, so you can take it as 0 plus c. So phi of 0, you got c. By definition, what we have phi of alpha? We have phi of alpha to be e power minus x into sin alpha x by x dx. If I put alpha equal to 0 here, sin 0 you are going to get, sin 0 is 0. So 0 into some finite number, again that will be 0. So all integrand will be 0. So phi of 0 is 0. But phi of 0 equal to 0 by its definition. So we got c equal to 0. Therefore phi of alpha is equal to tan inverse of alpha. So exactly similar to problem E, there is one more problem that is I can consider later. Evaluate integral 0 to infinity e power minus alpha x into sin x by x dx, and hence find integral 0 to infinity sin x by x dx. So here you are supposed to use this standard result, integral e power ax sin bx dx is equal to e power ax divided by a square plus b square times a sin bx minus b cos bx. So this standard result you have to use and try to evaluate this integral. So with this we are going to wind up our discussion on differentiation under integral sign.